We spend half of our lives remembering the past and the other half worrying about the future, but we forget to live in the only time we truly have, the present. And this was exactly David's problem. David opened his eyes in the early morning, but even before the sun rose, his mind was already heavy. Memories from the past returned like a storm. Mistakes he had made, chances he had lost, and words he had never spoken replayed again and again. If only, he whispered to himself. If only I had studied harder for that exam. If only I had taken that opportunity. If only I had been brave enough to speak that day. The words "if only" felt like poison, slowly draining his energy. He walked into the kitchen. His mother had prepared breakfast with a warm smile. There was fresh bread, cheese, and hot tea, but David's eyes were distant. He did not notice the love in the details. The steam from the tea faded into the air. The bread grew cold, untouched. His body sat at the table, but his soul was far away, lost in years that would never return. His mother quietly looked at him, wishing she could bring back his smile. But David did not see her. He was trapped in yesterday. For him, the morning had already ended, before it even began. When he stepped outside, the city was waking up. Birds were singing. The wind was gentle. People hurried down the streets. But David saw none of it. His mind was already in tomorrow. What if I fail the job interview? What if I disappoint my family? What if my future is already ruined? Every question chained his heart and slowed his steps. A young boy on a bicycle smiled at him, but David didn't notice. An old man played a violin on the corner, filling the street with music, but David did not hear it. Even the rainbow in the morning sky passed without meaning. To him, the world was gray. Faces looked empty. Streets felt heavy, because his thoughts were not here, not now, only in a future that did not yet exist. His heartbeat grew faster. His chest felt heavy. It was as if he was carrying the weight of a life that hadn't even happened. And so, he missed everything around him. The laughter of children, the colors of the balloons, the beauty of the present moment. By noon, David entered a small cafe. He sat down with shaking hands, stirring his coffee again and again. The spoon made a soft sound against the cup, almost like a reminder of his restless thoughts. At the next table, a young couple was laughing. The woman touched the flowers in the vase with joy, while the man took a sip of coffee and smiled back at her. There was love in their silence. David did not see them. His eyes were lost in fear of tomorrow and regret of yesterday. Even the warm coffee in his hands felt invisible. And then a single sentence broke through the noise in his mind. The woman leaned closer to her partner and said softly, "Look, this is life. This coffee, this moment, this smile, all of it is now." The world stopped. David froze. For the first time, he felt the warmth of the cup in his hands. Sunlight touched his face through the window. Far away, the laughter of children reached his ears, and suddenly his heart filled with peace. In that moment, David understood. Life was not yesterday. Life was not tomorrow. Life was here. Life was now. And for the first time in years, he was truly living. Regret, a feeling of sadness about something you did or did not do. He felt deep regret for missing the chance. Anxious, worried and nervous about something. She felt anxious before the big meeting. Moment, a very short period of time. Enjoy the moment instead of thinking about tomorrow. Realize, to understand or become aware of something. He suddenly realized that life was happening now.